3I Atlas, the interstellar object that has intrigued astronomers since its discovery, continues to reveal mysteries that challenge our understanding of space. Recently, a series of observations have raised the possibility that 3I Atlas may have sent probes to Mars.
Professor Loeb says that based on his calculations, it looks like 3I Atlas has been losing an extreme amount of mass, which could mean it's exploded into a dozen smaller pieces. So, is it just another fascinating celestial phenomenon, or did the mothership just separate into a squadron of reconnaissance aircraft?
This theory hinges on the timing of the object's close approach to the red planet and the peculiarities observed in images captured by NASA's Perseverance and Curiosity rovers. The object, which passed near Mars, has been the subject of intense scrutiny, and new evidence suggests that something unusual may have been present in the Martian atmosphere around the time of 3I Atlas's arrival. The investigation began when volunteers were enlisted to examine images taken by the Perseverance and Curiosity rovers during the period when 3I Atlas was approaching Mars. The goal was to look for anomalies that might indicate the presence of probes or other objects potentially related to 3I Atlas in the Martian atmosphere. Given the object's peculiar trajectory and its unusual characteristics, it was plausible to assume that it could have sent probes ahead, arriving near Mars before its closest approach. The team focused on finding anything that could explain the strange behavior of the object, or anything that might suggest its influence on Mars. One volunteer, carefully analyzing the rover images, identified something unusual in the Martian atmosphere. Initially, the object appeared to be a photographic artifact, perhaps a sun flare or something caused by camera distortion. However, upon closer inspection, it became clear that the object did not fit the usual patterns of such artifacts. The object appeared to be flying through the Martian atmosphere, which is an extraordinary occurrence given the planet's thin atmosphere and low wind speeds. It was something that could not be easily dismissed. To confirm the nature of the object, the image was analyzed by artificial intelligence systems. The AI first suggested that the object might be the Ingenuity helicopter, which had been deployed by the Perseverance rover. However, this theory was quickly ruled out. The image in question had been captured several days before 3I Atlas's closest approach to Mars, making it impossible for the helicopter to be the source of the anomaly. After further analysis, the AI began to suggest that the object could be related to 3I Atlas, despite the fact that it seemed impossible for such a large interstellar object to be visible in the Martian atmosphere during daylight. As the investigation deepened, alternative explanations were considered. Dust devils, which are common on Mars, were ruled out because the object did not appear to be moving in the way typical dust devils would. It also didn't resemble any meteor streaks, which would have disappeared far too quickly to remain visible in the image. The clarity of the photograph further ruled out any suggestion of a dust storm or a similar natural phenomenon. This left only one plausible explanation. The object was something unidentified, a UFO possibly linked to 3I Atlas. The discovery of this object in the Martian atmosphere at such a critical time, just as 3I Atlas was approaching Mars, raises the possibility that the interstellar object may have sent probes to explore the red planet. The timing of the appearance of the object aligns perfectly with when probes sent by 3I Atlas might have arrived. Given the unusual characteristics of 3I Atlas, which include a highly unusual composition and behavior, it is not entirely out of the realm of possibility that it could have sent probes ahead to scout Mars. The behavior of 3I Atlas has fascinated scientists and astronomers since its discovery, primarily due to its strange and unexpected properties. Unlike any other interstellar object observed, 3I Atlas has exhibited an unusually high nickel-to-iron ratio in its tail, which is one of the first anomalies that set it apart from the typical behavior of comets and asteroids. This composition suggests that the object may be far more complex than a natural interstellar object. Additionally, 3I Atlas's brightness has continued to increase even as it moves farther from the Sun, a phenomenon that defies our understanding of how such objects typically behave. Normally, as a comet moves away from the Sun, its brightness diminishes due to the reduced solar heating. However, 3I Atlas's behavior seems to challenge this rule, prompting questions about what could be causing this unexpected luminosity and whether there is something unique about its internal structure or composition that we don't yet understand. These unusual characteristics immediately raise questions about the object's origin and purpose. As researchers investigate further, they're forced to consider possibilities beyond the realm of what is commonly observed in natural celestial bodies. The question arises, could 3I Atlas be something engineered rather than just a passive comet or asteroid? One of the most striking features that adds to this theory is the object's jets. Typically, comets exhibit jets made of gas and dust that are emitted when the object is heated by the sun. However, in the case of 3I Atlas, the behavior of its jets is highly irregular. While the jets seem to align with the sun, as expected, there is also a separate jet of dry carbon that is misaligned. This dissonance between the different jets suggests that there could be an external or internal force at play, something actively controlling the object's behavior. The misalignment of the dry carbon jet adds another layer of mystery to 3I Atlas. Unlike a natural object, which would typically show uniformity in the direction of its emissions, 3I Atlas seems to be generating multiple jets in different directions. This could indicate some form of technological control, such as an internal propulsion system or a deliberate method of orientation adjustment. In nature, objects like comets typically do not show the kind of directional control that would result in such misaligned jets. This behavior is consistent with the kind of maneuvering seen in spacecraft or probes, where propulsion systems adjust the orientation and trajectory of the object. If 3I Atlas is indeed using some form of propulsion, it would suggest that this object is not merely drifting through space, but is instead actively navigating, potentially on a mission with a defined purpose. The possibility that 3I Atlas is a technological object rather than a natural comet becomes increasingly plausible when considering the behavior of its antitail. This antitail is not simply a passive feature, it has been observed to wobble slightly, an anomaly that sets it apart from the predictable behavior seen in natural comets. In a typical comet, the antitail, the opposite of the direction of the sun, is a static, stable feature, and its movement is generally governed by the interaction between the object and the solar wind. However, 3I Atlas's antitail behaves differently. The observed wobble suggests that the object itself is rotating, and this rotation appears to influence the direction and movement of the antitail. This unusual feature could indicate that the object is being actively manipulated rather than simply drifting through space in the way natural objects do. In fact, the wobble is highly suggestive of an object equipped with some form of internal propulsion system, something not typical of natural bodies like comets. This type of behavior is commonly associated with spacecraft or other engineered objects, where rotation and propulsion systems are used to control orientation and stability in space. If 3I Atlas is indeed rotating, the wobble in its antitail could be the result of adjustments being made to its orientation, potentially by a propulsion mechanism designed to steer or stabilize it. In addition to the wobble, the symmetry of the object's jet system further supports the idea that 3I Atlas is being actively controlled. The three mini-jets, evenly spaced at 120-degree angles, resemble the thrusters found on human-made spacecraft, which are arranged symmetrically to ensure balanced propulsion. This regularity in the jet system is highly unusual in nature and suggests the presence of advanced technology at work. The combined evidence, the wobbling antitail, the precise symmetry of the jets, and the increasing brightness of 3I Atlas despite its distance from the sun, suggests that the object might not be a random interstellar traveler, but rather a probe, potentially sent by an advanced civilization. This hypothesis aligns with the behavior of the object. It appears to be actively adjusting its course, using propulsion mechanisms to navigate through space, much like a human-made spacecraft would. These characteristics, when considered together, are not typical of comets or asteroids, which are passive objects that generally do not exhibit controlled movement or internal propulsion. Given these features, some researchers have begun to speculate that 3I Atlas could be part of a deliberate mission, potentially even one designed to explore our solar system. Its proximity to Mars, combined with the anomalous object spotted in the Martian atmosphere, raises the possibility that the object has been gathering data or performing reconnaissance on Mars. If 3I Atlas is indeed a probe, it could be gathering information about the red planet, perhaps in the same way that human-made probes like the Curiosity and Perseverance rovers are doing. This would mean that 3I Atlas is not just an object passing through the solar system, but an active participant in a larger mission, one with potentially far-reaching implications for our understanding of space. As the search for answers continues, astronomers are examining more data to uncover the full nature of 3I Atlas and its possible connection to the Martian atmosphere. Additional images from the Perseverance and Curiosity rovers are being analyzed for any other signs of probes or unexplained objects. The mystery surrounding 3I Atlas is far from over, and with each new discovery, the possibility that this interstellar object is more than just a random visitor becomes ever more compelling. Although the evidence remains inconclusive, the timing of the object's appearance, combined with its unusual properties and the mysterious object seen in Mars's atmosphere, points toward the intriguing possibility that 3I Atlas has indeed sent probes to Mars, or that it is actively involved in some kind of mission that involves exploring our solar system. While this theory remains speculative for now, the clues are enough to warrant further investigation. Scientists are exploring all possibilities, and with advancements in imaging technology and data analysis, more details about 3I Atlas are expected to emerge. Whether 3I Atlas is a probe sent by an advanced civilization or simply a remarkable cosmic object, its behavior continues to challenge our understanding of space and interstellar travel. The exploration of this mystery could lead to new revelations about the nature of the universe and the technologies that might exist beyond our planet. For now, researchers continue to track the movements of 3I Atlas, hoping that future observations will provide more definitive answers to the question of whether this interstellar object is truly a technological marvel or just a bizarre natural phenomenon. As the study of 3I Atlas continues, astronomers are learning more about this mysterious object and its potential connection to Mars. While the discovery of a UFO in the Martian atmosphere is certainly intriguing, it is only one piece of the puzzle. The full story of 3I Atlas may be far more complex than anyone initially imagined, and with every new observation, the mystery deepens. Whether or not the object seen in the Martian atmosphere is truly related to 3I Atlas, the discovery raises important questions about the nature of interstellar objects and the possibility that we are not alone in the universe. In the coming months and years, more data will be gathered, and the mystery of 3I Atlas will likely become even more fascinating. Whether it is an advanced probe or simply a curious object passing through our solar system, it continues to challenge our understanding of space and the possibilities that lie beyond our planet. As the investigation progresses, there is no doubt that 3I Atlas will remain at the forefront of astronomical research, offering new insights into the nature of the universe and our place within it.